Whoa!
Ooh, welcome back, everybody. We just finished beating the Abyss Watchers and unlocked the Catacombes of Carthus. Let's head down these stairs. And you can take a step forward to see what you have in store for us. Be wary of some archers on your right, but they're kind of down at an angle, so they might not hit you. Either way, take a left first to find a reanimating skeleton, and notice how his eyes are glowing white. Some of the skeletons in here will have white eyes, which means that they will reanimate. You might also notice that we didn't get any souls just then. Luckily, they only reanimate once. Then we get our souls and can move forward for some Carthus Rouge, which applies bleed to your weapon. Move forward to find our first... I don't even remember what these are called. Let's just call them Undead Knights. These guys are quick and aggressive and do that. Turn invisible as they roll. They can still be hit as they're rolling, even when they're invisible. Ooh, and he dropped a shield. This is where we're really going to start ramping up our Titanite Shard, because they drop one, I think, guaranteed. Come up here, but be careful of an archer that's on our left that's going to spawn in, and the two skeletons that come forth. Note that they don't reanimate. So there's the archer. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. So, come forward, and on the stairs is a headless skeleton that can attack you just the same. When they hold their sword up vertically like that, or excuse me, horizontally, it means they're waiting to parry you, so don't attack when they're guarding with their sword. But you can come up, and this one spawns, one spawns behind us, and the archer starts to walk inside. So with them out of the way, we can move forward. Our first coming all the way to the end and turning right, where there's two more skeletons. And an item. Then we're gonna fight some more undead knights. Go back down the stairs. Go straight for another set of stairs, but be careful because two more skeletons will pop up. And an undead knight stands at the doorway, and another patrols up these stairs. So once he sees you, he'll pull the other one. Ow. Come on. Oh, crud. Ah, there we go. So, with them out of the way, that's the last of those gentlemen we have to take care of for a little bit. You can turn around and get the item here. And then return back and take a left into this walkway. The skeleton's gonna spawn multiple skeletons. So try to take them out quickly. Nice. And continue forward. Down the stairs. And we find our friend Henri.
Oh, hello. Have you seen my ship? I've not been.
She's misplaced Taurus.
If you had, I will please send me the flame. If you had, I will please send me the.
Make sure you've exhausted her dialogue, because again, you must. Oh, crap. Well, never mind. Okay. So, when you come out here, there's a crystal lizard on the right, or on the left, excuse me, and some archers. As you can see, I'm messing up all over the place over here. So when you come out over here, there was the crystal lizard. You can chase it down or try to chase it off the cliff, but be careful of the archers that are right here. There should be 2 of them. And then, dodge your way so that you don't get shot over to the other side for some blood red moss clumps. And then we're gonna backtrack all the way over to those archers. You can head down the stairs here, but make sure you sprint because there will be an Indiana Jones style boulder landing behind you. You'll see what I mean if you don't know what I'm talking about. But instead, you can backtrack all the way and drop down to where the archers were, and then from there drop down to the other side of this long staircase. So I like to do that because it gets the archers out of the way. You might want to heal up in case you suffer from fall damage, but just drop down 1 level at a time. There's one of the archers, and then directly below it is the other one. And now we can drop down here, and you're going to want to immediately turn to the left. And when you do, hide in the left corner here, past the gravestones, and raise up your shield so that you don't get hit by the passing boulder, which goes both ways. And if you look in the opposite corner, there's a skeleton with a funny looking hat who's actually controlling the skeleton ball. So rush up and kill him very quickly, and the skeleton ball will explode at the next wall it hits. Before we grab that item and drop behind, we want to go this way, and in my case, one of the skeletons dropped something, but over here is an ember. Now we can go back here and grab this undead bone shard. Hooray. Now 3 skeletons are going to spawn in, 2 of which reanimates, including that one. So you want to back way up because the one in the back will throw little urns that spawn these dark orbs that home in on you and can get around your shield quite easily and stagger you. So try to get around the corner. Keep your health up because those dark orbs are no joke. And as you can see, they got me once already. We have now moved into the section of the game where difficulty is noticeably increased. And as I've said, this whole walkthrough is poised towards non-pro gamers such as myself. So just because I think this is the easiest way to get all the achievements does not mean I'm going to be flawless. If you come around to the right, another skeleton with dark orb urns comes out from the corner. So try to rush him before he can even throw one. Luckily, he does not respawn. And then we have to be very careful. There's a ring we must get for getting the platinum trophy at the end of this walkway you can see right there. But these urns with the cloth over them actually house those same dark orbs that the skeletons were just throwing at us. And we don't want to pop them. So instead, find a pathway through the pots that does not break any of the cloth-covered ones. There we go. And we get our Carthus milk ring. Which, if I remember right, that's how the skeletons are turning invisible when they roll. So if you like that, and you want to have the same thing, then go ahead and equip that ring. Now we can work our way down to a difficult section. Be careful of this right here, because it triggers a trap. And those arrows deal an immense amount of damage. And if you come forward, we have a unfortunate enemy in an undead knight that actually, you can't see from here, has glowing white eyes, which means he's going to reanimate. And, as you might have just heard, when you round the corner, a skeleton spawns in. He likes to throw the dark orbs. So I'm going to try to goad him around the corner. It's not working. So let's see if I can just hit the undead knight from here. Let's go and take care of this guy real quick before he reanimates. And then after he reanimates, let's kill him again. You can use the trap to your advantage. Like so. And now we can move forward. Be careful of another skeleton that will spawn in on the other side of him. Make sure we don't go towards that item, or we will fall to our doom. It's not doom, but it's not good. And then we gotta work our way all the way back up. Instead, come this way where we find two undead knights. Try your best to take them on one at a time, although that's easier said than done. But we got lucky this time. I don't know what I killed just there. I think I do know. Ow. I think there was a slime hanging on the ceiling underneath us. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, ho, ho, okay. So, be careful of this corpse. There's a trap right there, as you can see. So be very careful of that. Come around here, and don't just rush to the item here because there's a hole. Instead, stick to the wall so we can come around it and get an ember. And then go back around the hole, take a left, but don't rush again because there's another undead bone ball. If you turn left after it passes, you can get a large titanite shard. And then sprint forward so you don't get hit by it on its way back and take the first left. There it goes. To find the next bonfire. Let's rest up. And continue on our merry way. What we want to do now is move forward, but wait. And then once the ball passes, continue down this way, but you cannot make it down the stairs in time for the ball to come back, so hide here right before, and then when it passes going in the opposite direction, we can sprint down to find a couple of rats. Before you take them on, jump to one side so you don't get hit by the ball. Take him out. Move past the path of the ball. Take on this rat. And then there will be another rat and a giant rat in the corner here. So if you can, see if we can peg them from a distance. Then we can take out this rat. And now we have a very long hallway with skeleton bone wheels that you might remember from Dark Souls 1. And the ceiling is littered with slimes. So be careful as you move around so that doesn't happen. And make sure to tag the slimes with fireballs. They die with one fireball, so you can use those instead of fire orbs to save on mana. You can also hit them while they're on the ceiling. A good strategy is to just look up and click the right stick to see if you can lock on to anything. There we go. But keep an eye ahead of you for these bone wheels, because they can see you from quite the distance. See, sometimes you can't even lock onto them. There's two up there around this item. So try to get towards it and then back away, and they'll both drop down. We've triggered a bone wheel who rolls at you. Just chase behind it, and when it stops rolling, it leaves itself wide open for attack. Go ahead and let's grab the item here. See, are there any more slimes on the ceiling? Yeah, there's one right above them. Slowly inch your way forward. And actually, can we do this? Nice. We do this. Just inch your way ahead. Nice, got a bone wheel shield. That's a rare drop. There's one more bone wheel in the corner. There may be some more slimes, I'm not sure. Wow. I think that's all the slimes in this hallway. There are many, many more down this hallway, though. Oh, yes. Level so-and-so. Alright. Let's get some FP. Fireball. And we get the Carthus blood ring at the end of the hallway. And now I think that's everything, so we can head on back. Do keep an eye out just in case I missed a slime or two. Looking like I got him. And let's see here. I think now's the time to take on the invading NPC. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go ahead and ember up. I forgot to... We could go ahead and pop the undead bone shard if you wanted at our last bonfire. And move down this hallway to what seems like a dead end with a single item. But as you move in, an NPC will spawn back at the entryway, who wields a ginormous sword and shield. And does not stagger very well. The hard part is trying to get around him or her when you reach the back wall, or when you need to drink up, because that thing has crazy range, as you can see. Ooh! And if you beat him, you get the Night Slayer ring, and whether you beat him or not, you get my thanks. If he does kill you, then just you spawn right back at the bonfire, maybe go burn the undead bone shard, and then try again. With that done, because we got another difficult section, you want to move forward, and before you grab that item, let's take care of the... I don't even know what to call these. These are like skeleton bandits. They're very quick, and they're hard to hit with pyromancy spells. And their curved swords get around your shield and cause bleed damage. See, they're so fast. They're really hard to hit. Just keep your shield up as they're running around and taking pot shots when you get the chance. Now we can move up. And you'll find a couple of things. Go slowly. Because first we have the bone ball controlling skeleton. But before you rush him, note that there's an undead knight with a bow and arrow. And there's another undead bandit. This one being twice as deadly with twice the sickles. So try to oh. Alright, that worked. I was gonna say try to bait him down to this area. And if you can try to get some shots in with fire orbs, then all the better. It's so hard to get distance to heal with these guys. That's the biggest issue. But they can be backstabbed. So just try your best to keep circling around them. And once you take care of them, I'm gonna climb back up. There's another one somewhere. But I think that's it for this guy, so we can keep a shield up. Take him out. Village. Be careful of the trap right here. And grab the item that we saw earlier on the other side of this hollowed out floor. And now we can take care of the bone ball. He likes to run away. If he gets around the corner, don't chase after him too much. Because there's another double sickle enemy. Or is that just a single? That's a single. Never mind. I think, does this one... I think this... Yes, this one reanimates. So just wail on him when he does. Then we can get this item. Turn the corner to find our friend. And then we can grab this. Grave Warden's Ashes. Head back down these stairs to find a secret wall. And since the bone ball exploded, we can kill the crab that got left behind. And pick up a dark gem, which we definitely need. Make sure you do that. Now we can walk all the way down to the other end. To find a cave. And a crystal lizard. Who will usually clip through the wall right there. And a big hollow... He drops a fire gem. Which he can sneak up on and try to backstab. If it doesn't work, just wail on him. You stagger him pretty easy. Or kick him off the ledge. Just make sure you don't fall off yourself. Turn to the left for some yellow bug pellets. And then go right to find 2 skeletons and 2 items. Grab the 2 items, but don't go too far forward, because we want to trigger this lever behind us, which opens up that gate where we fought Night Slayer. What was it? Tsorig? Tsorig? However you pronounce its name. And now we're going to go back and rest up after all that, now that we got the shortcut open. Because the last thing to do is fight the boss. Okay, now we're gonna travel back to Firelink Shrine. And we're gonna move forward.
Ah, how many?
Let's give the Umbral Ash.
Gracious, let this. I only hope.
Sell some items.
Ashen.
And then let's level up.
Welcome home, speak. Very well, then take note.
Still going for the 30 intelligence and 30 faith.
Farewell, I made
And then let's go back, and we're actually gonna go back to... Oh yeah, burn the undead bone shard. The whole reason we came here. We're gonna go back to the Abyss Watchers in the Road of Sacrifices. The reason for that being is we're gonna do a little bit of sidetracking. We actually could have done earlier. I'm gonna head back to the long bridge on the left here. Now I believe if you're using a blessed weapon, or you have access to a blessed weapon, then you can make it so that these guys don't reanimate. But I find that going through the trouble for this particular build to have a blessed weapon is more trouble than it's worth, considering this is the only area of the game that has reanimating enemies. And now what we're going to do is, as we approach the bridge, you can take on these two skeletons if you want, but we're going to drop down onto this platform. Right on top of either of these two columns, and then drop down again to spawn in an archer. These two might try to come find you. If they do, just take care of them. If you're lucky, they'll leap themselves off the side. But after that, come in here and be careful on the right. Again, notice his white eyes. And now we can grab a much important Carthus Pyromancy Tome. It's not that important really, but it's required for getting all the achievements. And then at this seemingly dead end is an illusory wall, where there's another shuttle wielding skeleton, another bandit. So let's take care of this guy. Luckily, the fire orbs stagger him pretty well. Then you can get this sharp gem. And let's see, is there anything on the left? I don't remember. But what I do know, hang on, is continued this way, and you're back at the top of the stairs where the two undead knights are. And if you go back to the other direction where I was heading, there's an item and a ladder. Which takes you back to the top area where the archer was. Be careful of the trap here. And those two skeletons that spawned here, one in front of you, one behind. So with that, we can walk back, and I'm gonna walk back to the bonfire. And now go back to Firelink Shrine. We really should have done this first, to be honest. Would have saved us a little bit of time, but that's okay. It was slightly safer to do it this way, although a little less efficient. And now I also think I have enough large titanite to upgrade my pyromancy flame again. So, let's see, what all have we got to do? We don't have any more Estus or bone shards. Yep, we have exactly enough large tonight. And we've got a pyromancy tome to give up. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So let's give up our pyromancy tome.
Well, this inscription fascinating.
And that unlocks a few things. Namely, I think Profuse Sweat, Carthus Beacon, and Carthus Flame Arc. Which, if you're playing a more melee-focused pyromancer, which is the first character I made on this game, then you want to start with a raw weapon, and then get a Carthus Flame Arc, and just use that to enchant your weapon with fire. And since you have a raw weapon, it doesn't scale with anything, but has increased base damage. And that makes it a very useful tool. But since we're playing more of a pure pyromancer, we're not going to bother with that. Did I get any extra souls? I did, right? I got one. Might as well just use it here. Hey, and that should be enough for the next level.
Welcome her speak. Very well, then take note.
Wow, we have exactly 1,000 souls.
Ashen one.
And now we're finally ready to fight the boss. So travel back to the Catacombs of Carthus bonfire. And continue forward. Again, don't forget about the skeleton ball has respawned. Now about the skeleton balls is they only drop their items once, so you cannot use this fact that they respawn to farm dark gems or undead bone shards, unfortunately. It does not work that way. Man, I keep getting hit. I never get hit on the way out of here. Now we don't have to worry about these stupid skeletal knights or whatever you want to call them. The bandits. Ooh. Because we got the shortcut open. So come back through the shortcut, kill those two skeletons again. And before we cross this rickety bridge, you want to stick to the right and go up the hill here. Where you should find Henri again.
Ah, hello. Have you seen? Oh yes.
Still looking for Horace.
Oh, you.
So make sure you exhaust the dialogue. And actually, if you look beneath, way off in the distance there, you can see that is Horace. We're gonna get there though. Alright, come back, and as soon as you start crossing the bridge, this is something to note. About 100 skeletons will spawn in this giant room of bones here and start marching their way down to the bridge. What you can do is you can smack the ropes and break the bridge as they're crossing to net you a hefty sum of souls. So sprint across the bridge as fast as you can. And then when you get to the other side, turn around to see... Oh, they are coming. When they get on the bridge, I like to wait a minute and then hit the ropes, because you want to try and get as many to start crossing as possible. And since there's that delay, try to hit it as soon as a skeleton climbs onto the other side. And it should time well enough that you'll get the maximum amount of skeletons on the bridge just as it collapses. And see, that got us, what, 1,400 souls, something like that? Not a whole lot at this stage, but still. Every bit counts. Head on up to find a door. Open the door. And since we're not going to be using any pyromancies for this fight, I'm going to take off my fire clutch ring. And we'll put on... probably just a Clementhy ring again. Or actually, this is a weird fight where a blue tearstone ring might be helpful. He has a aura around him that if you get too close, you take massive damage very quickly. And it's fast enough to where sometimes you'll die before you even notice that you're standing in the aura. So this might help to delay that ever so slightly. So we're going to use that. Everything else is good. And we get a locked door up there and a goblet here that you touch to trigger it. So before I do that, let me explain that we're about to fight a strange and easy boss. But again, he does have some quirks that leads to you dying very quickly. So it is easy as long as you're paying attention. This is going to be a ginormous skeleton of which you can only see the top half. He's kind of lying down like on his stomach and crawling towards you. And he has 3 golden bracelets, and that's going to be his weak spot. He takes no damage elsewhere. In fact, he barely takes damage from the rings themselves. It's only when you do enough damage to those rings that they shatter that he takes a giant chunk of damage. And when you break all 3, you will finish the boss fight. But again, if you get too far past his main head area, his body, then you will be standing in this shadowy kind of aura that will kill you almost instantly. He also swings his arms around quite slowly but powerfully, so just be careful of those. And every so often, if you're not quick enough, he will spawn skeletons, so just run back and take care of them if that happens. After the cutscene, move forward to the item. Excuse me. And as you get close, the enemy will show himself. There he is. Go ahead and grab the Graveborn and Pyromancy. He already is raising his arm up to do an attack. So face him and raise your shield up. I like to hit this on the left first, and this is where you don't want to get too close. See there. He also vomits up the same aura. So you're trying to avoid locking on and hitting these golden rings until they burst. When they burst, he backs away a little bit. Starts another attack. Just keep swinging at his wrists. When he raises his arm up, just keep moving. Slowly, but with purpose. Sometimes he crawls forward. When he crawls forward, you need to book it towards his head because you don't want to get caught too far back. Come on, there we go. And again, when you bust the last one, he fades into the back. And you trigger another cutscene. And the door opens, you get an achievement, you get a bonfire, you get 24,200 souls, which should just be 22,000, but since we have the covetous silver serpent ring, so that's what I mean, we get an extra 2,200 souls for nothing. So with that, let's do a few more levels, and then we're going to head to the next area. Also, with your new Pyromancy Tome, you can try to give it to Cornix.
I'm afraid
He explains that it's for women only, and I think I forgot to reinforce my Pyromancy Flame last time. Whoops. And we only needed 4 to begin with. Alright, well, either way, we're good now.
What is it?
So we don't need High Warlords or the High Lord's Soul. Get rid of that.
Ashen?
Yeah.
Welcome home, speak. Very well.
Make sure
Then
you do
touch
not
the
heal the dark
darkness
sigil,
and
by the
vanish.
way. That will eliminate your option for the ending we're trying to achieve.
Farewell, I made of.
So travel back to the High Lord Wolnir bonfire. Keep wanting to say High Warlord. And we will continue this next time. So until then, stay safe.